Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
It's heavy. Heavy.
That's crazy.
It's awesome, dude. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
And I never had that kind of love.
I know.
But that's why she's a gem, though.
Welcome back to JK News. Out of the closet. Joe is springing out of the closet. He's preening, some say.
Welcome.
And he is going to talk today about getting hella married.
Hella married.
Yeah.
I never actually told the story.
Exclusive.
It's
Of
a
eloping?
last time.
Breaking news.
Because, like, you guys, I think Hannah was here too, where we talked about, like, getting together as a couple, right? I'm not sure. I forget now.
I think the last real video we talked about anything like this is when Steve was responsible for your breakup with Jess.
Yes, and that that video did really good because
Credit to
people
me.
love the drama.
I took accountability.
Yeah, and because you wanted me for yourself, you
That's it.
horny bastard.
That's it.
Out the Closet, dude, best series ever. Stream is considered as.
Legit. Street, please consider.
I never really like even talked about why I married Hannah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't even know why.
Because like I joke around and say like, yo, the tax benefits of having a dependent is awesome, you know?
It honestly is though.
Yeah. And I joke around and say there's a poor immigrant girl that needs a green card from a impoverished island nation.
That would have been my assumption, to be fair.
And I needed to rescue her from her shitty situation.
We have a parlay on this, so keep going.
It was either that or the salad tossing. I don't know yet, dude.
I mean, that is a
Archie's
very,
down.
yeah. Oh yeah, she's a very down girl. But like, I think since we're getting kind of real, like there's a more like boring but real reason, and it kind of ties into what I've been talking about for the last several episodes. And so, the last episode we left it off with me doing JK, and there's a whole journey from that, right? Transitioning into this person that you guys know today, joking around and goofball, and you would have never known my past if I never talked about it. And fast forward to, yes, you know, people, my fans, everyone's seen me in a couple of different relationships, and I think it got to this point where, yeah, I was getting like kind of older in life, and my recent one was, you know, pretty long, and we're both in our 30s, and it just kind of felt like maybe I'm just not a relationship type of guy, and maybe I just can't commit to anyone, and I'm not capable of any love. And I thought I'm damaged in a way where, like, thinking about my past, and I can't let anybody in, and all of the exes that I've had, I felt so misunderstood by them, and I probably misunderstood them too.
No question.
To the point where I just felt like, well, it's a lot of work to try to, you know, meet in the middle. So I was like, I'm gonna just fuck bitches, travel the world, bro. Like, it's the easiest thing to do. And this was 2019. I got out of the relationship, and it was like so fun. I'm like out there traveling, fucking snowboarding to my heart's, you know, content. I would fucking land on a landing strip of like pussy. It was just a wonderful time.
By the way, my favorite in that era is you would open JK stories with me and Darian every time.
And shout outs to Darian, dude. Like,
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
this was during a time when all of y'all were like, you had family, you had friends,
We were
you
fucked
had,
off.
you couldn't go out.
I moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
You were fucked up.
I had no one to hang with.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, some of you guys did want to hang, but then you were following quarantine rules because you had family.
Not me.
Yeah, but Darian didn't have family. I didn't have family. And right after COVID, you know, like, I just didn't have anybody to go out with, but not because he's like a rebound dude, but like literally, he was one of the best adventure friends I've ever had. He knows how to have a good time. We have a similar energy when it comes to
He
traveling.
wasn't your rebound, dude, okay?
No.
Can people just get over that?
No.
People keep saying in the comments.
People just
No.
won't stop saying it.
Top comment on this video for sure. Parlay, parlay.
It did seem like you guys were just two peas in the pod. Like it seemed like from the stories and outside looking in, it was like you found your match of like, oh, you guys are just climbing rocks. You guys are doing wild shit.
Two pieces of pods, literal, like you guys were in the same like little
pod.
fucking canopy sleeping. You know what I mean?
No question.
No, we had a little squad. We had, you know, other people that were like, I ain't doing shit. I don't have to go, you know, whatever. And we were traveling the world, whatever, having a great ass time. And so, like, there comes a point though, like when you can indulge like in so much, right? And it's funny because I call this my entire retirement phase, where I had the most money I've ever had, I had the most freedom I ever had, and I think I thought I wanted this, where I thought I wanted like this freedom, but then when you chase like pleasures all the time, it gets to a dark place, because like how much, like if ribeye steak is your favorite steak, it loses the novelty if you have it every day. So like before I felt restricted and I always blamed like, oh, I'm so busy so I can't go snowboarding. COVID was the time that I was able to do whatever. It's like I'm single now. I could fuck whoever I want. I could snowboard whenever I want. I can do whatever I want. And so it was just this selfish every day. All right, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to this country. I got this girl lined up. I'm gonna fucking bust nuts. And then I'm gonna go eat this food, whatever.
And eat this pussy. And
Yeah.
she's a hooker.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, right? And then so
My favorite joke.
it was fun.
My favorite joke.
I pay the hookers. And then I eat
And I eat them and I finger them in the butt.
Figure that out.
Because you're a man of service. That's
Yeah.
Teach a class about that.
And then I send them a gift card saying thank you very much after I eat them out. Yeah.
a generous love.
And it was literally fun. But you know how when they talk about this whole like hedonistic lifestyle, and then when you chase pleasures, you become a slave to your pleasures. And I didn't really understand what that meant up until I felt empty and the novelty wore off. And so like it got to this point where I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but this feels good, and I'm just chasing one thing after another. I'm chasing another girl. I'm chasing this other meal. And then like it seems probably really fun from the outside, but there was a point where it got so normal to the point where it was boring. And then the dark thoughts set in of my past that I didn't deal with. And so I'm like in Europe getting a fucking blowjob from a girl I'm dating, but I'm like thinking about a family member that did me wrong or whatever.
Parlay.
It got you harder though, didn't it? No.
What?
This fool just said parlay as if that was one of our bets. That you were thinking of a family member while getting a blowjob.
I didn't know it at the time.
Who would bet that?
But I was like getting into a weird
Tough bet.
addictive place. Like I remember like I was dating this girl and I told you about this one and it was getting serious, like really serious.
Yeah.
Like I had the ick really
The
early on.
pickup girl?
The girl that fucking slapped the living life out of me during
I remember
sex,
it well.
and
I remember it well.
she had a fetish of beating me the fuck up while we were fucking.
Oh, of course that's gonna trigger some shit,
it would-
dude.
Oh yeah.
Cause you flashbacks because you were
Exactly.
like, I used to get my ass beat all the time, so don't fucking beat my ass.
And that's how it's full circle.
Yeah.
Like I was
Oh.
eating her out one time,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, it feels so good, so passion." She grabbed my hair, whack, and I was like, "I want to fucking murder this bitch." And I was like, "Oh my god, I got to get away from this."
Did she like it back if you were to hit her or no?
She probably would.
Maybe, but
Like the golden eye.
He's not hitting back in a sexual way.
no, I think
He's picking up the fork and trying to stab her.
Fucker.
yeah. So it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Golden eye.
You throw
chick,
some
dude.
boxing gloves at her.
It's golden eye. chick.
Dude, I wanted to kill her. Like I wanted to fucking bang her head against the fucking shower wall. It was a different like it went straight from horny to murder. And I had to go like, fuck, I'm going to a different room.
You're
and then
like,
she's
this
like,
is
what
wild.
happened? And I was like, you just can't put your hands on me. Like I can't do that kind of kinky play.
Whoa, yeah.
Because I was like, I never had that feeling of like wanting to hurt someone I care about.
Daddy has trauma.
Was she European?
Yeah.
What part?
Eastern.
Exactly.
So
Oh,
she's pretty fiery.
hardcore shit.
Czechoslovakia,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, yeah.
War torn and shit.
And she was,
Dagestan,
bro.
you know?
She was super sweet. Like, and and it's a tragedy it didn't work out. But her fetishes and things that she liked was a trigger of mine. That the recipe was just horrible. We got into an argument because she did it again, but she couldn't resist. She was too horny, and then she just fucking whacked me across the face. Yeah,
And by the way,
because she's like, your fucking mouth game's too good.
though, of all the things for a woman to say to you, I was too horny. That's pretty much a Joe
Yeah,
thing.
that's pretty sweet.
That's a Joe thing to
So,
say.
so yeah,
No one's
we
ever said that to
two
me.
peas in a pod,
You know
right?
what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, but I think after that it was just a fucking, well, that didn't work out, and I thought it was gonna work out because we were, it was a very passionate relationship, and
Was that like after that, that's when it didn't work out.
Pretty much. It fell apart pretty quick.
I think so, but at the same time, I don't think I was ready for a relationship because I was also becoming like a sex addict. Like, I remember I busted a nut in the morning with her, and my friend wanted to meet up at Amsterdam, and we went to Amsterdam, and then we had some weed, and he bought me a hooker. I fucked the shit out of that, and came in like a minute, and then I went back to the hotel room, and I jacked off, and so I was just constantly coming, and not in a healthy way because it was like an appetite that couldn't be fulfilled. It was like compulsive.
Oh yeah. Compulsive.
It was very. It was like I got to this point where I'm like, there's no what do you call it? Like it's just like this addictive. Like there's no meaning behind the sex.
Is life just busting nuts?
Yeah, I'm just coming all the time, and like there's nothing behind it.
Can't stop coming.
Yeah,
Why me?
I'm on the cum train, you know.
God!
Life is crazy.
You son of a bitch!
And
You're blowing up, you maniacs.
yeah. It was just a really nothing was filling up whatever void I had, no matter how many times I came.
You were filling up voids all the time.
More ribeye.
You gotta balance it out with steaks, bro. You gotta go Wagyu. You gotta go.
Yeah, skirt
So-
day.
Maybe try
Sometimes on a Tuesday, skirt day.
And I'm sorry, like it's funny because like if you know my relatives are probably gonna click this, and I'm sorry, but it's just the truth.
But they might be impressed. They may be like, "Hey, Joe was doing well for
Joe
himself."
was like blowing some loads. I didn't know he's blowing that many ropes.
Because the thing is, Hannah actually like just saved me from a life of degeneracy.
Wow.
Because like I saw where I was going, and there was no direction. It was just chasing pleasure, right? So like when I was talking to her, it was just another hookup. My friend was like, "Hey, I'm dating this girl in London. Come hang with me. I have this like 3-bedroom apartment. I'm bored. Just I have extra rooms." And I was like, "Sure." So I went over there, and I was already talking with Hannah on Instagram at this time.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of girls just lined up, and I was like, I'm just gonna go back to my old ways. Just have a fuck fest.
Do a UK tour.
Yeah.
Sick. Never had a fuck fest.
I remember all the videos during that time. Steve would always be like, "The fans are not safe." Hashtag, "The fans are not safe."
You know what is so funny too at that time? Even the girls I hooked up with would play along with your bit.
That's so crazy to me. That's insane.
And she goes, "What number fan am I?"
That's so fucking crazy.
Legendary.
If you want it, we can cut this out. But Joe and me had a conversation one time. He's like, "Dude," he's like, "You're blowing up my fucking spot." He's like,
No. Yeah.
"Yeah." He's like, "You're blowing up my fucking spot." He's like, all these fans come up to me. They're like, "Hey, like, which part of the game do I get to be?" And I'm like, I get what you're saying. I think ultimately, but I'm like, it sounds kind of sick.
By the way, you're like super. You got me laid so many times. You're like super wingman.
I love you.
Thank you very much.
You know I love
He
you.
learned the ways.
You know.
And the coolest thing was everyone was just so open and honest about it. They're just like, "Let's hook up." It was just straight up like that.
By the way,
And, like,
we used to do these live streams too. Where
And we
like,
did a dating show.
we
and
did a
then-
dating show
Yeah.
where it was like, "Hey, meet Joe," all this stuff, and like literally got him laid so easy. And then I was like, "Cool, you passed this part of this phase of the test." I was like, "The next place you go to is into Joe's DMs," and then it was just so fucking easy.
Okay, so this is what shocked me. We had a dating show, right? Because it was like a whole game we were playing. We were sponsored, and this guy would open up with, "Will you eat Joe's butt?"
It's the first question I'd ask.
He had like 8 women say yes on the first question.
By the way,
And then I was like, "Oh my god, I feel like so embarrassed." Like,
your
what
butt
the fuck?
felt not safe.
Right?
The fans weren't safe, and your butt wasn't safe.
Yeah. But
The
anyways,
first time in a long time.
that was a super fun time. But like,
It's funny that this video is still about Hannah.
it is, and we haven't even got to that point yet because we're just
The build-up is important.
right talking about what a scumbag I am. And so, yeah. So I'm about to go to London and all that. So and then I meet her, and after we meet, I don't want to date or see anybody else immediately.
Just the first interaction, you're just like, "She's it."
By the way, that is how you're built. I know that for a fact.
Really?
Yeah, that is how you're built. 100,000%.
There was a level of familiarity and comfort that she just gave me that I've never felt before. And also, like, I woke up in the middle of the night and, like, I guess I've been having like panic attacks and morning anxiety where I just wake up and my heart's fucking beating. I didn't know that because I'll be half asleep. So she'll just be petting me and she goes, oh, you woke up with a nightmare or whatever. I'm like, really?
Wow.
And then so I wouldn't know what's happening, but then she was the kind of like first person to kind of put me back into this like comforting place.
Nurturing.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Timing on that too. Is
that
great.
woke me up to like a whole journey of like, wait a minute, like what? Why do I have these anxiety attacks in the middle of the night? And I always was an insomniac because I think I was avoiding sleep because I think these things would happen since childhood. And it's probably all linked to what we've been talking about, the violence, the scaredness, the whatever.
People
and-
petting you while you're sleeping.
The petting, bro, that was, yeah.
Fucked up.
It kind of all fucking makes sense though.
Yeah. But with Hannah, none of it fazed her. And like, we would just, everything was an adventure with her. Everything was like, let's do this, fuck yeah. And then we would just like, it would be one after the other of a person that would ride or die, literally. Like, let's go eat this, fuck yeah, let's do that, come on. And then we would just like push each other on. And so nothing was serious, and I think I needed that, and I think she needed that too. And she would laugh about how like, you know, my future is I'm gonna be one of the third or fourth wives to a rich Saudi person. And I'm like,
That's like an older bit because remember that the Saudi guy wanted to like, he was like, hey, I'll sponsor you to come.
oh no, that's she. This is her own thing.
Oh, that's funny.
No, so
that's so funny.
She
That's
did,
funny.
she was jaded about relationships
Okay,
too.
okay.
She's at this point, you know, like you're working in entertainment. She's in London, like she's just dating hella, you know, like it's like she
Yeah.
has no faith in the dating
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Same with me,
Yeah.
right? And we both never even thought about long-term relationship with someone so far away. It just wasn't possible. It was like, hey, what a great hookup.
Got it.
And so I think for her, she was like, you gave me no reason to quit. And I was like, yeah, same here. It just kept, hey, let's go here. Let's meet here. Let's try to see each other. Let's talk on the phone every day. I just like your presence. There's something about it. It's so calming. And when the effortlessness of it and how easy it was like very unbelievable. Because it wasn't like, I want her to be my wife. Like when you're in high school, right? You plan it all out.
Yeah.
It was more like, this is casual, but you make it so easy that I don't want to go away. And then so for her, she was like, yeah, she jokes around about this all the time. And she's like, I would have never married anyone. And I was like, she's like, you like is the only person I probably marry, and I probably won't marry again if something happened.
Not even if a Saudi prince comes by.
Pretty big.
She said the only reason why is because she's like she doesn't have to deal with the attention, and then she'll have a good life, and then she could just focus on her arts. So it's literally like a good sugar baby situation. You have to fuck the guy all the time. So she had a really, I mean, and that's a defense mechanism too. Both of us are like somehow kind of jaded and hurt and thinking that we just go through these failed relationships. She's never had a boyfriend. But I think she has a high standard of men because she has 3 brothers and a solid dad that stayed with, you know, in the
And
family.
the military dudes.
Yeah, and so I think her image of a man is like a lot of guys can't live up to those things. So, you know, being in London around a bunch of like more entertainment guys, she's just like, y'all are pussies.
You're weird.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play piano at 2 a.m?
She said that the kind of guys that she grew up with was like rugby guys, you know, blue collar dudes, and she's like, yeah, those are the guys I had crushes on.
Yeah.
So when I went to London, and she's very like, she presents feminine, but what she likes is not that. Yeah. And then so she's like, I grew up with my dad, like being a rugby player and just fucking being a wild boy. And my brother's a special ops guy, and he, you know, he was going in and out of jail. So it was like a perfect, nurturing, soft person that understood me. Yeah. So she didn't feel threatened by me. She felt like, oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
So because her brother went through the same kind of upbringing that I did, and a life around violence and all this stuff, I think I was very familiar. Like my personality was something that she didn't feel was like, I don't get this guy. So like I think in the past, if I was told to open up to like an ex or whatever, right, I'd get punished for opening up a lot of the times because I think they might not like what I've said or how I was thinking. Hannah was the first person that let me completely be myself, and she completely understood and didn't make it about how she was offended or how I hurt her.
When you're being yourself, how, explain that to people.
Sometimes she asks me stuff and I just go off on a tangent and I need to work things out.
Yeah.
And then a lot of stuff is not like I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm just throwing out possibilities.
Yeah.
And I shut down a lot in my past relationships because I can't even do that. Like if I said something wrong or maybe I said something that made them feel like I was talking about them or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, there's all these examples of like, you know, like I think it just scared them, you know, and they weren't ready for the stuff that I was thinking about. But Hannah, every single time, just understood completely. And like, she was probably the only person in my life that helped me work out a lot of my shit very quickly. So like, she's just very intuitively good with human beings. She can read people really fucking well. Like, she's an autist when it comes to that.
Definitely. I agree.
And so for me, I don't think I'm always the best at explaining certain things, and maybe I don't even know myself, but for her, she was really good at helping me like become a better version and also work through my shit.
Isn't it big when people want to understand you though?
Oh, that's 100%. Like when you said earlier about when you fight and you want to understand each other, that's us. Like there are moments where we go off and be prideful. But at the end of the night though, I have to give her the props that she's always the one that goes, I wish you gave me the patience that I give you. And I'm like, fuck.
Deep cut.
Wow.
And I'm like, you are the loving one.
And by the way, just because I said that doesn't mean I'm a fucking saint at it. It's just like that's the rule. That's what you're trying to achieve, right?
And I think she gives me the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I think I'm not using this as an excuse, but I see the pattern. Like, it's if I'm activated and triggered, she's my enemy, and then I'll go off, and then I'm just like throwing her away.
Yeah.
And then it pains me to come to my senses and go, oh fuck, I'm doing the same shit my parents did. I'm attacking her in different ways because I feel hurt. She'll never do that to me.
Wow.
So I'm screaming at her or whatever, and then I think she's just like, instead of screaming back, she'll just be like, you know, this is tough because I know you're not doing this to me. You're doing this to your mother, and I'm your father.
God
Dang, she says stuff. How she's so mature, like so aware, like that.
Well,
emotional intelligence, IQ up through the roof, but through the roof.
but then it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, whoa.
It's heavy. Heavy shit.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
It's awesome, dude. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I never had that kind of love.
I know,
But that's why she's a gem, though.
but that's why she's a fucking.
But even when we met Hannah for the first time, I was like, dude, she's perfect for Joe. In a lot of ways. Like, the first time I met her, I was like, oh, dude, she's like next level. You know?
For her to take that, but still try to make it, like, try to help me is like, dude, it's like, I've never had anyone.
She just loves you.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I never had unconditional
I
love.
know. Yeah.
So that was tough.
Yeah.
Because I can't give that back to her.
Yeah, because it's hard to accept it already. It's already hard to
tough.
accept. Right?
Yeah. Because she's like, you know, like, when I do wrong, it's almost like, she'll say shit like, when I do wrong, it's almost like you hate me. It's like I'm a different person. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to.
Yeah.
How do you work through that part? Like, does it take a while?
She accepts it. So she's like, okay, I see how this gear doesn't always work on the clock, but I just gotta grease it a little bit, and then it works.
And then over time, right?
I think, yeah, it's she loves me so much that she's willing to have the patience for me to fight myself. It's really what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But after that, it's like, yo,
yeah, legit.
yeah.
Legit.
That's why I married her.
I know. Hey, you got lucky, bro. Seriously, that's awesome. Yep. She did too. She did too. You're the fucking gem of a human being. I tell everybody that. So, can you just real quick show me how to throw an office straight? So, like, where do you pick it up to get that kind of distance?
base.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
You wanna close up this whole series?
So, guys, this was ultimately a series that was incubated by Bart Kwan, but I think credit to us, we really delivered on it. It's not easy.
Honestly, it's hard to have everyone open up.
Be an ideas guy, but ultimately people have to deliver. And that's what happened today and yesterday, is that people really delivered on the premise.
Yes.
It's not like when David calls Joe and says, "Why aren't the fucking bathrooms clean? What the fuck are you even doing?"
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll fix it up.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is different. This is like, Bart had an idea and we executed it brilliantly. And yeah, nothing else you can really say about it except I actually would love to respond to all this. I think we kind of have time right now. 6:40. We're out early, so we're gonna respond to all this in a sec with all of you. So we'll be back.